I have always wanted to do a cosmetic brand, and I felt that a men's brand would be the perfect way to go. For us, apostle means messenger, and we believe that great-looking skin sends a powerful message to the world. And the Apostle Blue Mountain Complex is a combination of 3 ingredients. Water from the Blue Mountains, Scotch bonnet pepper, which no Jamaican cooks without, literally, and also my favorite orange juice from Mandeville. Hi, my name is Jamie Melbourne. I'm Jamaican born and raised, a New Yorker of many decades. I'm a model, makeup artist, and beauty entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Apostle, a cosmetic brand that's New York based.
So the DNA of the brand, being that you're of Jamaican roots, you grounded it in a lot of Jamaican type elements. Was that intentional in terms of building out the brand? So take me into the formulation of the brand itself. So when the idea came to you, from idea to execution.
The Jamaican reference to the brand is natural. I'm Jamaican. And more so, I was raised by a mom who was a pharmacist. She was one of the first trained pharmacists in Jamaica. And so I was raised in apothecaries from I was very young. The issue is I didn't realize how much of an impact that background had on me. So when I decided to do this brand, it was the most natural direction for me to take in terms of incorporating Jamaican ingredients, Jamaican names of products. For example, the tinted moisturizer, which is what this is, comes in 12 inclusive shades. And they're named, names like Mobe. Your shade is probably Westmoreland or Port Antonio. And they go from Negril to Black River. There's a core ingredient in my product called an Apostle Blue Mountain Complex. And the Apostle Blue Mountain Complex is a combination of 3 ingredients. Water from the Blue Mountains, Scotch bonnet pepper, which no Jamaican cooks without, literally, and also my favorite orange juice from Mandeville, which is called Ortonique orange, sweet orange. The Blue Mountain water is very highly pH balanced, and it's also antioxidant. The Scotch bonnet pepper is high in vitamin C. The Ortonique orange is very high in vitamin C. So the combination of ingredients are actually very nourishing to the skin, and it's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. There's also, of course, niacinamide, ceramide, and other ingredients that are very nourishing to the skin that help to reverse hyperpigmentation, that help to hydrate the skin, etc. I was inspired to do this, to do a brand, a cosmetic brand, from I was in my early 20s. And the inspiration came while working in Bloomingdale's at that time in the Ralph Lauren shop, which was located really close to the cosmetic floor in that store. And that's why I say I didn't realize how inspired I was by my apothecary background, because it was in the apothecaries in Jamaica, Moody's Pharmacy specifically, where I was first exposed to cosmetics, skincare, fragrance, even magazines, fashion magazines. That's where I first saw them. So when I was in Bloomingdale's and I was so drawn to the cosmetic floor, I didn't realize that my mom's apothecary, my exposure through my mom's apothecary is why I was so drawn to this industry. I always thought the women's market was flooded, which is probably not true, because if you have the right idea, it will sell if you go about it the right way. But I think that when I noticed war paint, cosmetics for men, and I was also noticing it on social media, on Instagram, for example, especially during the COVID era, when men were so vigilant about taking care of themselves. Men have always been vigilant in recent decades about working out and taking care of themselves. But I think my point of view is that, skin is skin. Skin doesn't have a gender. We all have skin, like we have hearts or livers or kidneys, and they all succumb to negative exposures. And skin certainly does succumb to negative exposures like the sun in this day and age. So this is our Omega Daily Moisturizer that's coming out. So this is the first step. Christophe already cleansed his skin, and he cleansed it with our Sanctified Daily Face Wash, which is just basically a face wash, and then just adding this to the skin. Fortunately, Christophe has great skin, which is a makeup artist's dream. I'm using this as an eye cream right now, but we're also coming out with an eye cream. So you'll see I'm actually moisturizing the skin before I apply the tinted moisturizer. Okay, so the next one is to try and shade match him accurately. And this is our Mandeville, actually, our shade 5. So let's see if this will match him. Mandeville. And try this one as well. This is Cornwall, our shade 6. It's really important to us that our products are inclusive, especially products that come with color, like the tinted moisturizer. Actually, I already know that Mandeville shade 5 is really a good match for him. As you can see, right? When I put it on the skin, you can see that the color is very close to his own skin tone. A little goes a long way with this product, so you don't need a lot. And like along this area, like where this line here, you want to make sure that you blend really carefully in this area. The whole idea is that you look like you're not wearing anything. That's the most important to me.
It does look natural.
As a men's brand.
Yeah.
And where women are concerned, it's buildable. So if you want more product, you can build it. And you see me like dipping into the actual moisturizer as a means of just blending it out and making it look as natural as possible. My co-founder, Tony, is a huge part of this endeavor. I come from the makeup standpoint, the makeup artist standpoint, or even the modern standpoint in terms of what's been used on me over decades or what I've used on models over time. Tony approaches it almost from a consumer perspective because he's someone that uses product. And so the combination of our perspectives forms this perfect circle where we're able to decide how we want to pursue things and also come to a conclusion about the appearance of products, the textures of products, the smell of products, the application of products. All these things we sign off on in the lab and the factory before it goes to production. But that starts at a very early stage. And because we began our conversation in May of 2020, we were able to surround ourselves with some very smart people who come from big product development backgrounds. So they were also—
Who were those people?
The first one was Kim Davis, who has a huge background at Nars and other major brands like Fenty, for example, or Ilia. And she was one of the first person. And then we worked with another woman who had a big background at Nars, a French woman by the name of Corinne Hirschman. And Corinne was actually the person who gave us this idea of this Apostle Blue Mountain complex, forming these 3 ingredients. And I wanted to say that it has been proven by the scientists who put this together that the Apostle Blue Mountain complex, which is in most of our products, we have other products in addition to this tinted moisturizer, and it has been proven that this combination of ingredients reduces the breakdown of molecules in the skin by 50%, which is a major admission for us as a brand. So it is in fact, anti-aging, for lack of a better expression. So we think of it in terms of, you get up, you wash your face, you moisturize your skin, you put on a lip balm. If you have unruly brows, you might want to use a colorless brow gel just to straighten your brows out. Guys tend, as they get older, into their 30s, but certainly into your 40s and 50s, you see the brows curling up, and it's not necessarily an attractive look. So there are basic things you can do to maintain your appearance that doesn't do anything dramatic to change the way you are. And in any case, the tinted moisturizer, women have discovered our products and they're using our product. About a year ago, British GQ did a story on their favorite tinted moisturizers. And I think there were 15 or 16 that they mentioned, and we were number 5 of 16. And we were also the youngest brand on that list. And 2 brands that were on that list were Laura Mercier and Nars, which are women's brands. So women are definitely using our product and loving and demanding it. So we have the tinted moisturizer, we have the face wash, we have a moisturizer, we have a lip balm, we have an anti-shine powder, we have a mist, a toning mist that we're coming out with. And there are other products like, a regular concealer that we're coming out with, but most immediately we're coming out with a face wash, the moisturizer, the toning mist, the anti-shine powder. Those are the ones that we're really looking forward to coming out with in the next couple of months, actually. So in the case of Christophe, I use the moisturizer first, but because this is a tinted moisturizer, and Jahil has such great skin, I'm just going to go directly to his skin and not use a moisturizer this time. And let's see the results that we get. See how great this matches?
How did you arrive at the different names for the brands, like the Port Antonio? Why those particular places?
In most cases, they meant something to me. Whether I had grown up in Kingston or spent most of my summers in Mandeville, which are, locations like Negril. As a swimmer, I love swimming in the sea in Negril. And even though you see me applying it, over the entire face, you really just need to use it where you need it. It doesn't have to go everywhere.
Is Apostle advisable to use for someone who does not have good skin?
That's why skincare is so important. Face wash, moisturizer, and establishing that routine, that's why that's so important. And one thing I would say in this age of, social media, when people are constantly on camera and photographing themselves, this is another good reason to use this product, because it really helps with the appearance of your skin photographically. See how quick that is? And once you're doing this yourself, on a more regular basis, this goes even faster because you know your face. So when we launched last July of 2023, so over 2 years ago, we launched on our website, which is apostleman.co. But then we moved into Amazon, so we now sell on Amazon, and now we're on Ulta.com. So we're now available on Ulta. We're not in the brick and mortar stores yet. At the moment, we're definitely either apostleman.com, Amazon.com, or Ulta.com. Ulta is quite recent. We just launched on Ulta October 2, actually.
And how has business been? So you started 3 years ago. Have you doubled in terms of your output? How has the business been since start to now?
I will put it this way. We've had this product on the market, the tinted moisturizer, for 2 years. Now we're expanding and producing other products
So
like face wash. Because it will help to increase our revenue.
Okay.
Yeah. the very color of these packages, the navy blue and the white, for example, that's inspired by my mom's uniform, because pharmacists back then, I don't know if now, they wore navy blue hobble skirts and white medical blouses. So it's that much detail that we have put into honoring that Jamaican history.
So your mom is the heart of Apostle.
For me, she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think she'd say no? I mean, in terms of, you've manifested, I guess, your vision of her as a child growing up in the pharmacy, and, her pharmaceutical roots are embedded in Apostle. What do you think she'd say no? I mean, if she were here to see?
She came to me in a dream in 2019. And at that point, she had passed for about 11 years. She passed after Obama was elected president in 2008. And she came to me in a dream, and she said to me, she said, "You think you didn't inherit anything from me, but don't forget I was a pharmacist, and you're a makeup artist, and pharmaceuticals and cosmetics are often made in the same labs." So I hope she'll be okay with the fact that we're executing the brand. Yeah.
And what next do you want for Apostle?
What next? Well, we want to build it out throughout the United States. And then the next step for us would be probably Asia, and then Europe, or Europe, and then Asia. And definitely Jamaica is, that's why I'm here. I want to make it available in Jamaica as well.